Hi guys, welcome to McKola TV. This is MUFC Transfer Talk and it is number 48. I expected to do number 47 today. I got that done, but this is an extra bonus version as well for you guys. If you joined me earlier on the Nemanja Matic stream, then you would have seen that we had a few difficulties. It was a long stream, it was 30 minutes, but I thought, you know what? They deserve another stream because I don't think that stream did a new Manchester United signing any justice. Also, there's a lot more to discuss as well. Who will Manchester United get next, if anybody? Because Jose Mourinho has already made it clear he wants more signings. He wants at least one more signing. Ivan Perisic has been a target. Serge Aurier keeps being linked with Manchester United in the press. So there's a lot of things to discuss in terms of who is coming in next. Ajay Krishna is more optimistic and thinks Gareth Bale could be one to come in next. So far, Manchester United have made 3 signings. Victor Lindelof from Benfica for around £31 million. Then we saw Romelu Lukaku coming for £75 million. And now we're seeing Nemanja Matic, who has completed a move to Manchester United for £40 million, taking our spending to just under 150 million for the summer so far. We've got 3 players in positions which we needed to cover. We needed a defender. We couldn't rely on Rojo, Jones and Smalling with their injury and form records at Manchester United. We clearly needed to bring in another central defender, and we did just that in bringing in Victor Lindelof. Of course, Victor Lindelof hasn't quite hit the ground running for Manchester United, but you have to give him time. Jose Mourinho has said the same as well. And Jose has had a good eye for a centre-half. He brought Eric Bailly to the club, who was a quality signing for Manchester United. So let's give Victor Lindelof some time to settle. The second signing was Romelu Lukaku at £75 million. We all expected it to be Alvaro Morata, who was in turn gone to Chelsea. We expected Lukaku go to Chelsea, Morata to United. They both ended up at separate destinations, obviously different destinations to what we expected. And now we've got Romelu Lukaku, who's the more proven striker in the Premier League. I think Alvaro Morata is absolutely fantastic. I think he's an absolute baller. And I think he will do well eventually at Chelsea. But he was the less proven in the Premier League. He's the less proven in terms of being the main man, a number 9 at a club. Yes, he's been at Real Madrid, Juventus, but he's never been the main man. So in terms of Alvaro Morata, Romelu Lukaku, some would say we've got the better signing there, especially for the sort of figures you were talking about for both those strikers. So we got Lindelof, we got Lukaku, and now we've brought in Nemanja Matic. Everybody knew we needed a central defensive midfielder. We've been crying out for one, particularly with Michael Carrick, his form dipping because of his aging. He can't play to the level that he did once play at. So his form has been dipping at Manchester United. He's been less reliable in terms of being able to play 30-40 games a season. He can only play 15 to 20 games a season now. That's because of Michael Carrick's age. He still offers something in terms of experience, in terms of leadership, in terms of being able to play the odd game here and there. But he's not good enough for United in terms of week in, week out. We saw him in a midfield 2 against Barcelona in pre-season, and we got overran in the midfield. It was clear we needed another midfielder in there. Yes, we can play Pogba, Herrera in a 2, but apart from that, our options in a 2 are very short as well. Nemanja Matic, for me, will suit United best in a midfield 3. He's a hard bastard. He loves to protect that defence. He can clean up in terms of tackling. He can pass the ball short as well. And he's got the tendency to have a decent goal. We saw that against Spurs at Wembley. So Nemanja Matic is a player that's experienced in the Premier League. You hear about what Jose Mourinho said of him, and he gave him a glowing statement. And I think Nemanja Matic is a quality signing for Manchester United. Look, there may have been others out there that people wanted more, the likes of Fabinho, maybe Eric Dyer. Nangolan was another central midfielder that was linked to United. But I think Nemanja Matic ticks all the boxes in terms of what Manchester United need. Manchester United need a central defensive midfielder. Manchester United need a player that's got experience and leadership qualities, who's proven in the Premier League who's won the Premier League even. That's a bonus, but he's won the Premier League twice. We didn't need more young talent coming through. We've already got young talent coming through at Manchester United. We've got a whole host of quality younger players coming through. And I think, in fact, signing the likes of Nemanja Matic instead of someone like Fabinho, who at 22 years old would have stood in the way of the likes of Timothy Fosu-Mensah and Andreas Pereira, who would have hoped to get an opportunity in that central midfield. Obviously, Fosu-Mensah is being used at right back at this moment, but I think his future, once he gets that maturity to his game, is in the midfield area, maybe. So, in terms of signing Matic, a player who's older at 29, he's not going to stand in the way of the younger players, but he's also going to provide us with something we desperately need at this moment in time. And that's a solid central defensive midfielder to free up Paul Pogba and to play in a midfield three with Ander Herrera and Pogba. I think, just listen to that, Matic, Herrera, Pogba. It's got a great ring to it. It's got great balance in it. It's got Paul Pogba with the skills and the goals and the assists and the box-to-box ability, the strength, all of that stuff. It's got Ander Herrera, who doesn't stop working. He's the engine in the midfield, determined. He's a leader. He can pass, he can move, but he's not that robust central defensive midfielder we want. Nemanja Matic is that. When we cannot play when we can't play Matic, we can play Carrick now. And that's the bonus. Carrick is now a backup to Nemanja Matic. And that's where we needed Michael Carrick to be at this stage of his career. In terms of being the backup to a more senior figure who's going to play week in, week out. Because Michael Carrick can no longer do it on a week in, week out basis for Manchester United. Nemanja Matic can. And I think it's a quality signing. I think there's negatives to it. He hasn't had a pre-season. He's been training on his own at Chelsea, so he hasn't been able to get his match fitness up. We've signed him obviously late into our pre-season as well. We've got one more friendly left before the UEFA Super Cup final, before our weekend opener against West Ham in the Premier League. So there are negatives to it in that aspect as well. But overall, I think this is a quality signing. People that are bemoaning the fee of £40 million, which is what the fee is believed to be. I've seen some people saying £50 million. It's clearly not £50 million. The fee of £40 million, I think, you can understand it in this market. Now, if I ask you guys in the comments, I'm going to ask Matt, Will, Brands, Killian, Yay, everybody else that's in the comments. We've got around 450 people in at the moment. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're subscribing to Adam McKola TV as well. I'm going to ask you guys, okay, if you don't think Matic is worth £40 million, how much do you think he is worth in this market? Realistically, in this market, how much do you think he's worth? Because then what you've got to take into consideration is we are buying him off one of our rivals in the Premier League. And we're Manchester United. So us like buying one of our rivals' players, regardless of whether they're going to sell him or not, they clearly didn't want to sell him to Manchester United. That is why he was offered to Juventus first. So regardless of whether Chelsea were going to sell him or not, they didn't want to sell him to Manchester United. Jo says 35 million. You see, if we've paid 40 million, Liam, Ben says 30, Moment says 30, Abdullah says 30, Michael says 20, 27 says Swabanu, 30, a lot of 35s. See, there's a lot of people saying 30, 35 million pounds you would pay for Nemanja Matic. So if you're saying United have paid 5 million, 10 million pounds over the odds, is it that much of a big deal, really? Is it that much of a big deal if we have paid 5, 10 million pounds over the odds? What is 5 to 10 million pounds for Manchester United? We've knocked 5 to 10 million pounds a year off our wage budget in losing Wayne Rooney, Bastian Schweinsteiger, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So I don't think 10 million pounds, 5 million pounds over the top. I can see some of you saying 25 as well. I don't think us paying 40 million pounds for a player that some of you say we should have paid 25 to 35 million pounds for is that bad of a deal. I think there's been an over-exaggeration there. There's always over-exaggeration when United are involved. We know that. We know that. I've also seen people criticising Nemanja Matic for his pace. People commenting in here saying, what about his pace? Is he quick enough? Is he this? Is he that? Aiden says, in this market, meh. And that's how I feel. In this market, you kind of just give it or take it. It doesn't really matter. Special Juan says if Stones is 50, Matic is 80. See, there you go. Where was I? I see people saying, in terms of Nemanja Matic's pace, he hasn't got pace, he hasn't got this, he hasn't got that. When has he ever really had pace to his game? He's never had pace. You don't need to be a central defensive midfielder with great pace. You need to have it up here. You need to have it in your reading of the game, your ability to pass the ball, your ability to intercept, your ability to tackle. Like Aiden says again, Carrick is slow. Carrick's never been the quickest player. He's never needed to be the quickest player. Paul Scholes played in a deep lying position later in his career. He wasn't the quickest of players. I'm not comparing Matic, Carrick and Scholes to each other, by the way. What I am saying is, to play in that deep lying midfield role, you do not need to be quick. You do not need to be pacey. So what I'm saying overall is, I think Nemanja Matic is a very good signing for Manchester United. I think the signings we've made so far, Lukaku and Matic, quality signings. I think Lindelof, question marks there, but let's give him time. He deserves time. He doesn't deserve to be judged yet. So I think so far the 3 bits of business that Manchester United have done have been quality. They've been just what we need. So I'm going to dive into the comments now and find out what you guys are thinking. We've got over 500 people in the house at the moment. Thank you all for joining us here on Adam McKola TV. If you were here earlier for the Nemanja Matic official announcement video, then thank you for joining us then as well. We had a few issues. We lost half the audience, but no issues there. We're back now. Hit that like button if you're in the house. We've got 106 likes, sorry. So hit that like button. Let's see if we can get it to 300 likes while we are live on the stream. Wingers need pace. Midfielders need... Oh, that one moved very quickly. Sorry. Can you say that again? Bradley, thank you for commenting. Killian thinks Pogba's going to get double digits. Shane says Sanchez or Bale. Ooh, that's a difficult question, you know, mate. If we had the option of Sanchez or Bale, what would I do? What would I do? Ooh, it's a difficult one. Probably go with Sanchez because of the... It's probably a less of a risk in terms of his injury record. He's hardly ever injured. But I wouldn't dislike Bale coming to Manchester United. I think Gareth Bale's absolute quality. Absolute quality. I'm sure Jose will put Matic and Fellaini to shut out games in the second half. Damaso said Bale will consider a move to United. Someone commented. I haven't seen that one. Robbie, how you doing? Pogba is better than Vieira, says Abdullah Saeed. Random comment there. Ajay says my top 4 prediction. Mate, I'm not going to give my top 4 predictions now because I don't think it's right to. Why should I give my top 4 predictions now? The teams are still going to make signings, so let's give it time. I will do a video in August, closer to the season, probably the week building up to the Premier League starting, where I give my opinions on where I think the league will finish. But I'm not going to give my top 4 predictions now. King has asked the same. I'm not going to give them now. I do think, though, Manchester United will be involved in a title challenge this year. I think we have to be involved in a title challenge, but I think we will be involved in a title challenge this year. Epic DHZZZ says, get Adam to 40k, and yes, that is the target. So if you're one of the 600 that are watching right now, and you're not subscribed to Adam McKola TV, then what the hell are you doing? Please hit that subscribe button. Our target's 40,000 by the beginning of the Premier League campaign. We've got about 12, 13 days to go. We've got about 2,500 subscribers to go. So with your help, I can make it. So hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to Adam McKola TV. We've got over 600 people in the house now. And the likes have pushed up as well. So thank you very much for liking the video, guys. What do you think of Januzaj's career at the United? Do you think the hype ruined his career, says Alex Jones? That's a very good question, mate. Do I think the hype ruined his career? No, I don't. I think it could have played a part, of course, but I don't think the hype ruined his career because hype comes around all younger players, no matter what club they're at, whether it's from their own fans, from the world football fans, from the media, from whoever. Hype will surround younger players, whether they play for Man United or whoever. It's the way the players deal with that. Now at Manchester United, they're a different sort of breed. They're a different level of football club, and what it takes to succeed at Manchester United is a bit more. And I don't think Adnan Januzaj had that. You heard about worrying stories about him and Andreas Pereira in the reserves, just spending one whole game trying to score from corners. And whilst I think that's worrying for the reserves level of football, in terms that the best younger players kind of got bored and thought, let's just do this all game. I think that's more worrying from that aspect. But I think it shows an attitude flaw. I think Andreas Pereira had it as well, but he seems to have knuckled down. And I think a lot of younger players go through phases where they could go down one of two paths. And unfortunately for Adnan Januzaj, he seemed to have stopped working hard, stopped training. Well, I don't know about training, but his performances tell me that Adnan Januzaj wasn't doing enough. He was at Sunderland, yes, they got relegated, but you've got to do more. Andreas Pereira played for Granada, and they got relegated, but you've got to do more. And I know the circumstances and all that are different for different young players on loan at different clubs. But I think players have to take responsibility at times, and I don't think Adnan Januzaj did. I mentioned this story about Federico Macheda so many times, and Federico Macheda says he regrets his time at Manchester United, because after that goal against Aston Villa, and when all the talk was about Kiko Macheda being the next big thing, he stopped working. He stopped doing the things that got him to that point, and therefore he regrets that. And I think a lot of younger players will unfortunately have that regret. Obviously, when you're young, you make mistakes, you make decisions that you wouldn't have made years down the line when you've got a little bit of a wiser head. We all do it. But I think Adnan Januzaj is one of those, and it's unfortunate the way his career has turned out. But now he's going to Real Sociedad, and I think La Liga is a place where his style of football will be allowed to blossom. So if he works hard, he could still reignite his career. Have no doubt about that at all. No doubt about that. Sergio says, Adam, who's the fourth signing? So for the second half of this video, we'll talk about who potentially could be the fourth signing. For the first 15, 16, 17 minutes, obviously we've just been talking about Adnan Januzaj there. But we've also been talking about today Nemanja Matic, who's been confirmed as a Manchester United player. I'm going to read out Jose Mourinho's quote because I think it's a fantastic quote from Jose Mourinho. He says, Nemanja is a Manchester United player and a Jose Mourinho player. He represents everything we want in a footballer: loyalty, consistency, ambition, and he's a team player. I think those four qualities are fantastic. Loyalty, consistency, ambition, team player. Those four qualities. And he also said he is a Manchester United player. He is a Jose Mourinho player. And people complaining about this signing don't realise what they are complaining about. You are complaining about Jose Mourinho bringing in a central defensive midfielder. A central defensive midfielder which we need. A central defensive midfielder that has won 2 Premier League titles in the last 3 seasons. A central defensive midfielder who, and I quote Jose Mourinho, is a Jose Mourinho player. We have brought this player in because Jose needs people he can trust. He has built a squad. He's happy with the mentality of the squad. He's happy with the team spirit. There's a great morale there at the moment. But he needs more players in. And bringing in a player that he can trust like Nemanja Matic is exactly what we need. Because we need this player. We really do. And I think it could be the most key signing of the summer. I think Romelu Lukaku will obviously be the standout signing of the summer. A £75 million goal scorer who will surely go on and score 20, 25 plus goals a season for Man United. But Nemanja Matic could be the difference. The difference in winning some of the bigger games. The difference in Europe. The difference for United in terms of having that balance in the midfield. Freeing up Paul Pogba. Allowing him to go and do the damage up top. That could be the big difference for Manchester United here. Alexi says, I am happy. His class. Alexander says, another good signing. People are complaining because they don't watch football, says Emma Bass. And because they're spoilt as well. They get caught up in the thought of signing these dream signings that they have. Signing the players that were on their dream list at the start of the season. Signing the players that are in the know on Twitter as linked to United. They get obsessed with these things. Fabinho is a quality player. Quality player. But he's young. He's at Monaco. Do we really need to sign him? He's had one good season. Do we really need to sign him? So, it's like, you got to be a little bit sensible. Paul says he thinks this is a very sensible signing. So I stole his word there. Sensible. Kinga says, what do I think of the Jones-Blind doping allegations? First of all, when you say doping allegations, you make it appear like they have been found guilty of taking some sort of drug or performance-enhancing drug. Daley Blind and Phil Jones have not been found guilty of anything. They did a blood and urine test and they were absolutely fine. What they have been found guilty of is being, I think, verbally abusive to the testers and the staff of UEFA that were conducting the testing. But apparently they were interrupting when United were taking the picture, the United City picture for the kids that were killed in Manchester that within 48 hours of the final. So it's difficult to see what has gone down here, whether it was the players being rude and these stereotypical obnoxious footballers as you hear, or whether it was just why are you asking me to do the drug test right now? I can do it in 5 minutes. Give me a minute. So they haven't been done for doping. They haven't done anything wrong with doping. Their tests were absolutely fine. It's their conduct, their verbal conduct, I think, towards the staffing, and they've received bans for it, which is really, really annoying. Marouane Fellaini, an update on Marouane Fellaini today as well. Jose Mourinho said after the 3-0 victory over Vålerenga that Marouane Fellaini would not be leaving Manchester United for Galatasaray. Jose Mourinho said, it's more likely that I would be going to Galatasaray than Marouane Fellaini going to Galatasaray, which says it all. He says he pretty much loves the lad Marouane Fellaini. I'm going to find those quotes right now as well, because I thought they were great quotes. Let's see, right here. Mourinho Fellaini. Let me read some of your comments while I wait. Backfeet says Van Dijk would be the perfect... We don't need another centre-half, do we? We don't need another centre-half. So this is what Jose Mourinho said after the game. It's easier for Galatasaray to get me than Marouane. If they need a manager, they have a chance. But Marouane, forget it. He is too important to me. So that's what he said about Marouane Fellaini. He is too important to me. Marouane Fellaini is not going anywhere. Now this could be that Manchester United are playing the game, trying to get more money out of Galatasaray. But that is a pretty strong stuff. That isn't just saying he's a Manchester United player, he's not going anywhere. That is saying they got more chance of getting me, he's not going anywhere, he's an important player. So that is mad stuff from Jose Mourinho to be coming out with, in terms of if he is lying and Marouane Fellaini is going to leave, that it's poor for him to say that just before then. But it doesn't look like Marouane Fellaini is leaving and is going to be a Manchester United player for the foreseeable future, however you feel about that. Is Serge Aurier rumour true, says Malvin Thomas. Now, Serge Aurier has been linked to Manchester United, and I think it would be a decent signing in terms of another addition to the squad. And apparently he had agreed terms with Manchester United. Now, I don't know where that's come from, but my understanding was he's banned from entering the UK, and he is banned from entering the UK after being convicted of assault. Now, he was unable to play against Arsenal in the Champions League, if I remember correctly, because of that. And he's now appealing against the conviction. He has a hearing on August the 7th to determine whether or not his travel ban will be lifted. Hopefully Donald Trump's not anywhere near his hearing, because otherwise travel ban is sticking. But so I would guess if we're going to sign Serge Aurier, that is something that will come more clear closer to, August the 7th or after August the 7th. So I doubt anything will be done before then. So let's wait and see on that one. August the 7th is when his hearing is. He's appealing the conviction and the travel ban. So I'm sure if he was to say in his hearing, look, you're preventing my career. I've got a career. I pay my taxes. Let me go move to England. This is affecting that. It may get lifted. You don't know. But that's the situation. He's got that hearing on the 7th. So I would doubt we would hear anything before then. United aren't likely to buy a player that is going to be leaving. Is not going to be able to enter the country. Sorry, not leaving. So yeah, I would suspect we wait until then. We need a left back, says LJB. I think Jose Mourinho was giving Luke Shaw another opportunity. That's what he said in the press. That's what the press have been reporting as well. And Luke Shaw is going to be fit soon. So I think that's fair enough from Jose Mourinho if he's going to give Luke Shaw a chance. If he's not, then of course we do need someone there. But I think if he's going to give Luke Shaw a chance, then I don't think we need to sign a left back. I'm confident Luke Shaw can prove himself to Jose Mourinho. I like Luke Shaw. I think he's a talented player. He's had a difficult time with injuries and everything else. But I truly believe he can prove himself at this club and be one of the younger players that goes on to play for the club for 5-6 years. So I hope he does stick faith with Luke Shaw. Guys, hit that like button if you're in. We've got around 750 people at the moment. If you're not subscribed to Adam McKola TV, then do hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing, and you're helping me hit my 40k target by the beginning of the Premier League campaign. YT Finchley says, am I Romero? There have been rumours, but you've never seen me and Romero in the same place, so you never know, eh? But there have been rumours. Perisic or Bale and the title is ours, says Shiv. So that fourth signing, could it be Ivan Perisic? Ivan Perisic has been linked with Manchester United an awful lot throughout this summer. We've done almost 50 MUFC transfer talk videos, and I would hazard a guess we've spoken about Ivan Perisic on at least 75% of those videos. So is he going to end up coming to Manchester United? I'm sure we continue talking about him through the summer if he doesn't. What's the alternatives for Manchester United in terms of signings? Who else can we sign for that attacking winger position? There's links to Gareth Bale, but is there really anything in those? Are we using Ivan Perisic as a smokescreen for Gareth Bale? I'm not too sure about that one. I've got a feeling Gareth Bale is going to stick at Real Madrid. I think he's one of their key marquee players for the next 3-4 years. And look, if he was to leave Real Madrid, if Real Madrid were to make it clear that they no longer wanted to keep him, then I could see him leaving Real Madrid and coming to Manchester United. I think it's totally viable he could come to Manchester United. But do I think that's this summer? No, I do not. Alex says, where's the Guinness at? I haven't got one at the minute, but I will make sure to correct that by the time I am off this stream. Like I said before, if we get the Perisic, we'll win the fucking Premier League, says Vegito, who's on a mad one. Would be amazing to get Bale, but I doubt it's happening, says Regatal. Oxlade-Chamberlain, says Daniel Beebe. I wouldn't mind Oxlade-Chamberlain as a squad player, to be honest. I think he's one of the standout players at Arsenal in terms of, obviously, after Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain's quality, and he would be a decent squad addition to the team. So I would take him as a squad player, but not as a key player. If we get Aurier and Perisic, I'll be happy, somebody said. Perisic is one of the few traditional wingers left in the game, says Sanjeev. Dab, says Potsy. We don't dab here on Adam McKola TV. We're losing lots of English players in the team, says John Hammond. I'm going Wednesday, can't wait, says Darren G. I'm not at the game against Sampdoria in the Aviva Stadium, but for everybody that's going, I'm sure a lot of you guys, there's quite a few of you from Ireland that head up into the streams. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be there and enjoy it if you are heading out to the game. If you're not, then I'll have you covered here on Adam McKola TV. I'm also covering the game for Full Time Devils, but we'll be doing live stuff here on Adam McKola TV as well. Half an hour before kickoff and half an hour after kickoff, I will be live on Adam McKola TV. So make sure you join us. Then around 750 people in the house at the moment, and I'm guessing at least 100, 200 of you aren't subscribed to Adam McKola TV. So go and hit that subscribe button right now. And if you're already subscribed, hit that like button right now. We're in the house. We're talking Nemanja Matic. We're talking who will be Manchester United's fourth signing. Will it be Perisic? Will it be Bale? Will it be Serge Aurier? Will we make more than 4 signings? Will we only make 3 signings? Someone says, is that an Arsenal scarf? Are you taking the piss? Red, black and white. Arsenal. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. I think we will get Bale, just not got a feeling. Just got a feeling, says Ryan, so he's got a feeling. Or it may be you've got a dodgy stomach and you really need a shit. So you might want to go to the toilet anytime soon. Fuck the McKola says. Kabenga. Fuck you, man. No need for that kind of stuff, mate. We have 2 quality players in every position. We definitely do in goal. At right back, we have Valencia and we have Fosu Mensah and we have Darmian who can also play there. Centre half, we have at left back, arguable, but we've got Daley Blind, Luke Shaw and Marcus Rojo who can play there. Demi Mitchell coming through as well. Central defensive midfield, we got Matic, we got Carrick who can play there now. Andres Pereira's played there before in a holding position. Herrera can also play there as well. Don't let me forget him. Fosu Mensah can play there too. In midfield, Pogba, Herrera, Fellaini, Matic, Carrick, all that stuff. That's sound. Then out wide, we got Martial on the left. Probably why we need Perisic as a backup to him. On the right, we got Mickey and Lingard. In the hole, we got Mata, number 10 position, for when we play number 10s, but he can also play out wide on the right. And then up top, Lukaku and Rashford, Zlatan to come in. So I think we have got a well-rounded squad. Someone said, is that a Forest scarf? Fucking hell. Wrong channel, mate. We have got a decent squad, in my opinion, and I think we've got a very good squad in order to go on and challenge for things this season. Go on and challenge for titles. Go on and hopefully push and reclaim our league title. Because if we can do that, I will absolutely fucking love it. Guys, anyway, this has been another epic stream here on Adam McKola TV. It's been the second of the day. So if you've been with us for both, amazing. If you've been with us for this one, amazing. You're all legends in your own way. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this back later, then usually we're live at 8 PM UK time for MUFC transfer talk. A little bit early today because I'm a little bit busy. And we're also live spontaneously when things happen, like we were when we signed Nemanja Matic earlier, and also Lukaku, and also when Rooney left, and also when Lindelof came in. So we're live whenever things go down, but if not regularly, 8 PM UK time. We're live every time. Adam McKola TV. Make sure you keep joining us. For now though, guys, that's it for today. Unless United announce another signing, get your comments in below. Who will be United's 4th signing? What do you think of Nemanja Matic coming in? And yeah, see you later. The race to 40k is on. Will we make it? Hit that subscribe button. See you later.